Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. Thanks for joining us today. This episode is March's Dumbass of the Year, and with me is the one, the only, Benny Mac. How you doing, man?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here again. I'm so excited. I've been anticipating this moment for a long ass time. Oh man, it's great to hear your voice.
Thank you. And we would have done it last week if it wasn't for Twitter. Twitter totally fucked us, man.
That's the way it goes sometimes. You know, like back in the day, if I needed to send a message, I just put it in the letterbox and it would get there. But that damn internet.
That's all.
It's all good.
Yeah. Before we get into this week's Dumbass of the Year, I got something I got to talk to you about. I saw a story where a snake hitched a ride on a flight from Australia to New Zealand, which I didn't think was a big deal until the bottom of the headline said snake-free New Zealand. I had no idea. I don't know, maybe you'll prove it wrong. Is New Zealand snake-free? This article insists that there are no snakes in New Zealand. I just found that so hard to believe.
We don't do snakes, man. We don't do snakes over here. Ain't nobody got time for no snakes. They're all slithery with big old teeth and venom. We're not about that. We're about all soft and unpoisonous.
That just blew me away. I'd be like reading an article where they say in spider-free Japan, there was a tarantula found on a plane.
We've got a unique situation down here at the bottom of the world where we're so isolated that when the continents split up, we didn't get a whole lot of your crazy animals. We ain't got no gophers running around here making tunnels that can be seen from the moon. We ain't got all this crazy hummingbirds all levitating in midair. You know, we ain't got no tarantulas.
I had a big groundhog right on my front doorstep today. That was the weirdest thing. I didn't think they would come up to my house, but there it was.
We ain't got no groundhog. I'd like to get a hold of a groundhog. It looks cool. It sounds funny. And I don't know. I think it would be a hell of a pet. We ain't got no groundhog.
What do you have down there? Let's name them off real quick.
Fish. we got a whole lot of fish. We got a whole lot of ocean. We don't even have kangaroos.
Really? I don't know why.
We don't like those damn Australian animals. We massacred them all.
Oh,
we never had them. I'm joking.
Before I get too far away from the initial story, it was just a small brown tree snake, and they killed it because they said that it could wreak havoc on the wildlife that was native to the area. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Unique. Yeah, it is funny.
They
it's
were
crazy,
just like,
but I mean,
fuck that one snake.
You got to kill the snake. You got to kill it.
You're going to have to build a wall.
I think we do have a wall right there at the airport, and it's very, very tightly managed. Hey, we've got people coming in here trying to bring in all kinds of goose eggs in their pants. We don't need that. We don't need no steaks and no planes. You know, I think they already done the film on that.
Yeah.
What we need a tight biosecurity border at our perimeter so that we make sure that our unique ecosystem isn't put in undue risk by no brown snake. Maybe if it was a fancy blue snake or something that looked cool, maybe we could have a shrine for it, but
we're
gonna kill that snake.
I would like to think if it was a white snake, everything would be okay. Like, you know,
and
what?
if it was black and white like that, that's our national colors. It's black and white, so
I have to make an exception.
We'll let it in.
All right. The first dumbass of the year for last month was me, because the show that me and you did when I released it, for whatever reason, I released it in WAV format instead of MP3. So the file was way too big for most people to download until I thought, why the hell aren't people downloading the show? I got a pretty decent amount of downloads, but once I figured it out and republished it, everything was back on track. But I was the dumbass of the year for the week of March 6th. And joining me...
I think you did. I think you did a good job, man. You were living by your own rules, you know. You thought, well, I could be that guy. I could be on the show, and I could be featured on the show. So I think you did a really good job. Yes, that was a very dumbass move, but you know, you learn from these dumbass moves. It's great.
On that same show, I did crown another dumbass. It was a man who vowed to eat Jason Segel's picture every day on YouTube until Jason Segel ate his picture.
Oh, man.
I did some following up before the show started. That guy is still eating Jason Segel's picture. I figured a month later he would have to be out. At the time that I talked about the story, I think he only did it once. I just thought it would have to be a one-off, you know? But
you just got to get some really good, tasty cookies made up, you know, with a real good likeness of Segel. And as well, you got to make a cake, and you got to print your own damn face on that cake and make that situation attractive. You don't want to hand them no manila folder with your face scrawled on it. It needs to be a cake or some sort of dessert. Make it palatable.
We need to come up with flavored ink so we can start doing this more often. Just going around eating pictures, eating documents, whatever you want to eat.
It's a great way to destruct your legal documents, you know? Like if you got some sort of bill or some sort of contract that you don't want to be seen, maybe it could be, you know, Korean barbecue flavored or something, and it just tastes right.
That's a good flavor. I like that one.
And it's confidential too.
Yeah.
It's a contract between you and your stomach.
The dumbass of the year for March 13th. I ended up changing my mind on this one. It was an Arkansas student who was pulled over for a DUI, but he was let go because he was able to juggle his way out of it. When they pulled him over, his license plate said magician on the back. They get the guy out. They notice he's got some stuff in his pocket. They tell him to juggle. He juggles. They get along with the police, and they let the guy go. After I read more into the story, I thought, you know, that guy's not really a dumbass. That's pretty nice that he got away. And I can't really call the cop a dumbass because who wouldn't go that route? So we're going to have to nix that one. And that's a good thing that there were two the week before.
That's kind of jacked up because on one hand, this guy's clearly drinking, driving. On the other hand, he's concealing evidence. That's another offense.
I didn't mention that what he juggled was open beer bottles. Just kidding.
All right, man. I can believe that. If you can juggle fire, you can juggle anything. But it's kind of like they got some strange sobriety tests there in Arkansas.
Yeah, they do.
You know, usually it's touch your nose rather and walk on this line. It's not usually perform magic on command. And in saying that, I mean, have you ever seen those guys who play darts? They get so drunk they can't even stand, but they can do one thing well.
Yeah.
And maybe that's his skill, drunk juggling, you know?
You never know. When I first read it, I heard of a story where a guy got pulled over. They thought he was drunk. He ran around his car, then ran from his trunk over the top, down the hood, got down and said, "Could a drunk guy do that?" And the policeman said, "I never seen one do that." And he handcuffed him and took him off. I thought that was how this story was going to end, but I was very wrong.
What's that thing they call it, like a Chinese fire drill, and you run around the car?
Yeah. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I think I did. It's not very responsible.
Yeah, I did it last week, and you know, my wife frowned upon it, and she just sat in her seat. It was just a one-man Chinese fire drill.
The best was when you run around onto the driver's side and you expect your wife to clamber across into the passenger seat or vice versa, you know? Really surprise her at the lights, just as they're going green. Move over.
Hurry up. The next dumbass of the year is also vehicle related. It was a Canadian couple who was making a Facebook Live video while they were driving over a frozen lake. They were going to save about 2 hours driving over the lake as opposed to around it. While they were making the video, the truck fell through the ice and just sunk to the bottom of the lake.
Wow, that's some compelling content.
Yeah.
They say content is king, you know. They lost the truck, but they won the views, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think their Facebook Live feed was going large after that.
Yeah, you know it got some shares.
Hell yeah.
Apparently, they didn't check to see if it was safe to drive on the ice. They just saw some people with some shacks on the frozen lake who were doing some ice fishing and thought, hey, if they got an ice fishing shack, my 1-ton truck should be able to just drive over it, no problem. That guy's at least 180 pounds. If it's holding him and a shack.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys with trucks don't need much encouragement to go off-road, you know?
Yeah.
I've been in that predicament before. I got a hold of a 4-wheel drive. I didn't have that thing long before I ruined it. And it's just too tempting. They say they can go anywhere, but they can't go everywhere.
What was the coolest thing you tried to drive it through?
Over a super dune. Out
Oh.
at the dunes. Yeah, man.
Did you make it?
Yeah, I did, but on the way back in, the tide was approaching, and I didn't navigate the tide too well, and let's just say that there was a few gasket problems. I encountered a few gasket problems, yeah.
You don't have a video, do you?
Unfortunately not.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. There was no payoff whatsoever.
I don't want to put anything in your mind to where I'm swaying your opinion on how we're going to vote.
Okay.
But this one is one of my favorites, maybe of all time. It goes to the mayor of San Diego, who was at a brewery. They're doing this new thing where they're using recycled water to make beer. And the citizens have labeled it toilet to tap. And I'm going to have to paraphrase. I don't have the article pulled up right now. But the mayor said there is no better way to showcase how pure this water is than what the brewery is doing with it. Which I think the best way to show how pure the water is to keep it water instead of turning it into an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, man. All right. So you're telling me that there's a city somewhere and they're turning their solid waste, their human waste, into a tasty carbonated alcoholic beverage?
That's right.
And the mayor is promoting it?
He's loving it. There's no better way to show how great this water is.
Oh, my God.
There might be no better way to get people to drink that water, but I don't think it really goes to show how pure it is.
I mean, if you tested the beer, there'd be all kinds of impurities in there. I hear that they use some sort of a bacteria to create the beer in the first place. So
Right.
this water's not pure. This water has got intoxicating properties. If they want to showcase the pureness, they should craft an ice swan or something of this nature and maybe shine a laser through it that can show the microns. I don't need to be putting no yeast in there.
I would like to think that the mayor had at least 6 to 8 before he made that comment.
Oh, yeah, man. And you know, those craft brewers, they're yeasty. Like, they make it strong. It's like,
Yeah.
Are they brewing beer or is this some sort of carbonated spirit?
It's almost bread. There's so much yeast in there.
Damn.
So, out of those 4, which one do you think has to be cut? We got the San Diego mayor, the Canadian couple who fell through the ice, the Arkansas college student who juggled to get out of a DUI, and a man that vowed Jason Segel's picture every day on YouTube.
It's got to be the magician. Although
Yeah.
I think that driving intoxicated is terrible. Whenever a cop pulls you over, you got to try anything in your in your book of tricks to try and evade that ticket.
No pun intended. Yeah, I would have to
I've
say
made
that,
a lot of small talk with cops to try and evade the ticket, and it works usually. If you got a good sense about you, usually you can get off anything. But
yeah, as long as you're nice to them and you find that one connection that you guys got in common and you can talk about that for a little bit, usually they're,
Yeah.
I don't know, in my experience, they've always been pretty good. There was one cop that almost beat my ass in Yellow Springs, but that's a whole nother story.
yeah, just don't reach for your blunt or your gun, and you're good.
Right. And yes.
Okay, let's delete him. Let's
Okay.
delete him.
And yes, sir goes a long way. Just to...
We don't have to say none of that down here. We don't have to say yes, sir, no, sir down here. It's just like, yeah, nah. Sometimes it's, yeah, nah, at the same time.
Does that mean maybe?
Pretty much. It's an indefinite answer.
Okay, so we're left with the man who, for whatever reason, has vowed to eat Jason Segel's picture until he decides to eat that guy's, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I don't think Jason Segel even knows who he is.
He's just trying to get that publicity. He's trying to get a bit of publicity, maybe a bit of notoriety. Maybe he just needs to reduce that picture down to a bite-sized format, like a stamp.
Just a wallet size.
Just a little wallet-sized photo that he might carry around with him. He better get used to the taste of toner, because I don't think he's going to get his face eaten anytime soon.
I don't either. It's been a month, and he's getting pretty decent YouTube hits out of it, so maybe that's good enough. I don't know, but I would have given up by now. That's
the thing, man. As soon as Segal eats his face, he's just going to start eating a photo of Kanye, you know?
I didn't think of that. You don't want to encourage this man. He's
just an attention whore. He's just a whore.
Have you ever done anything like that? I mean, not like that, but to get attention that was just so strange.
All the time. Why do you think I'm on this show, man?
That's a good answer.
Shit. So I could be eating burgers right now, but I'm not having cookies, so I like that.
So out of those three, which one do you think is the worst?
Plunging through a lake is pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty bad.
One of my favorite parts, this is sick to say, but one of my favorite parts about the video is they're having such a good time.
They're lulled into a false sense of security.
You just hear this woman scream, and they're trying to get out of the truck as fast as they can, and that's how the video ends.
Shit. Man, I got to look that up. I'm going to look that video up.
It's a good one. I'll try to put a link in the show notes if I remember, so if anybody's listening, you can check that out.
All right, I'm going to look for that link. Perfect. I think they're pretty stupid. The mayor, well, I think that's kind of turning waste into beer.
Do you guys have that?
That's got some merit.
Do you guys have the saying there that you turn lemons into lemonade?
Yeah, we do. And we've also got the saying that you can't shine a shit, but you can add glitter. And maybe that's what they're doing. They're just the bubbles of the glitter.
There you go.
So maybe that mayor's figured out how to shine a turd up real good, and he's drinking that turd.
Would you drink that beer? I mean, I know
I'm not a huge beer drinker.
I know it's clean.
Personally.
As far as the water goes, it's got to be, or they wouldn't be promoting it. But just the
I think
fact...
it would be clean, but I think it would have a slight nutty flavor and maybe a little bit gritty between the teeth.
Just knowing where it's been, I don't think I could drink it, man. I don't think
the residual aftertaste might leave a sort of a slight taint on the roof of the mouth. I don't know. So if it's not the mayor and it's not the magician, it could be the couple in the car on the lake.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
The man who vowed to eat Jason Segel's picture.
That's just attention seeking, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's more whorish than dumb.
I never thought of him actually moving on to somebody else if this works.
He's going to move on.
I think you're right, man.
He's going to move on, you know? But it could take a while. I think what you'll find he'll do is the faces and the photos that it'll get smaller over time. And he might start printing like a grid of faces, you know, to hedge his bets. It's kind of like a hedge fund for face eating. So he might print like 8 celebrities' faces on a little strip, kind of like a fruit roll-up, and have it that way, maybe in pill form in the future. If he gets real smart, who knows? He might even have it on one of those, you know, those T-shirts that come in like a tablet. Have you seen those?
No.
It's like a tablet, and you dissolve it, and it turns into a T-shirt.
I'll have to check that out.
I think he might shrink down some more photos, and he could be eating all kinds of things in the future. World leaders, you know,
he wants
planets.
He wants to meet with Vladimir Putin. He's not.
He does, man. He wants to go horse riding, you know, shirtless horse riding with Putin.
He's just going to keep eating his picture until they play hockey together.
He thought that he could join the fan club. He was like, nah, damn that. I ain't paying those fees. I'm just going to eat his face. It's got kind of bath salts kind of ring to it.
I forgot about that. That was a crazy period, man. You don't hear much about bath salts anymore. Thank God.
Yeah, man.
Thank God. Everybody's faces are intact now.
Just like Twilight, you know? We got through that. We worked our way through that.
That actually, the subject of Twilight came up on a show a couple of weeks ago. I forget when it was, and I'm pretty sure I cut that whole conversation out.
We're going to skim right over this.
Yeah. I'm not sure I want Twilight talk on my podcast.
That's what I'm saying. It's a great thing that we got rid of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just glad that me and you agree on that, because I forget who was on, but I think she really wanted to talk about Twilight, and that's
the wrong show.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong show for that. We're going to talk about all the damn reasons why it's stupid.
So I think we both agree March's Dumbass of the Year is the Canadian couple in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't believe that, man.
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe it either. I think they've been watching too much of that Discovery show, Ice Road Truckers.
Yeah. Apparently, wherever they live, the police put out a warning saying not to drive over the ice, and they just didn't know that. It looks like that might be something you check before you decide to drive over a frozen lake.
Or maybe they just ask for suggestions in the channel, and someone said, yeah, it's good to go.
Never know.
Because, you know, people that contribute to live shows online, they got full of information.
I would have told him it was safe to go, and I don't even live in Canada. I just want to see what happens.
I got to see that video.
It is great.
I'm looking forward to this video. Everybody, check out the video. Leave a comment that you heard about it on this show.
That's a good idea.
We're going to benefit. We're going to benefit off their foolishness.
Maybe we can get them on the show.
Let's get them on. Let's get them on the show. I'd love it.
Yeah, that would be nice, man.
You tee it up. And, I mean, I don't know how many microphones you've got, but I'd love to hear that show.
It would be a lot of fun. Do you got anything you want to plug before we go?
I'm working on a new Netflix show down here. We film a few shows in New Zealand. And also one on the Stars platform as well. So if you've heard of Ash vs. Evil Dead, yep, they're doing another season 3. It's coming out soon. And if you're a fan of the Shannara Chronicles, season 2. But you didn't hear that from me.
Sounds good. April 8th, we're going to have a show at the Diesel. That's 1914 Edwards Avenue, Springfield, Ohio. Show starts at 10 p.m., $5 to get in at the door. As always, you can send your emails to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com, or you can call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail. This is going to be a very hectic week for me, so there may not be a Monday show. I'm planning on having a Monday show, but just in case, I want to make sure nobody starts bitching if there isn't a show out on Monday. But 100% there will be a show on next Thursday. If there isn't one out there Monday, I want to thank Benny Mac for being on the show today. It was a hell of a good time. Can't wait to do it again. Let's see, do we have another one later this month, or is it bleed over into next month?
I'm not sure, man. Let's do a special. We're going to do a special. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we're going to make something crazy happen.
Sounds great. All right, guys.
All right.
I'll talk to you next Monday or Thursday. We'll see what happens.
Don't go driving on no lake.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review.
I'd like to get a hold of a groundhog